Hey, what's up? It's Keith. So hey, this is going to be a for sure video straight through because I got to capture the ambience of what's going on. I'm in my favorite place that is other than my home, and that would be Long Beach, California. And I come to Eye of the Cat, and if you want to see what happened there, you could go over onto my Instagram. Well, not what happened there, of just seeing Eye of the Cat and some of the stuff I bought there. I get all my magical supplies again. So this is a talk about Vipassana. This is not the end of the Vipassana talking. So there's going to be at least one more, but I have one I've got to do after this one, which is going to be about what to do during winter solstice, which I'll probably do here on this beach later on tonight. Okay, so there was a lot of good things that I got out of Vipassana. One of the things that I got out of that was I went there knowing that something was going to happen that was going to be important, and that was following my intuition. Like I said, I love the idea of the monastic structure that it provides there. And the thing is I do live by myself, and I have provided that monastic structure for myself. And I just need to allocate those spaces more often and structure my life so that I can do that in a way that's going to work. So what I did, in a nutshell, what I did find out is that my own program is really strong, because there was a lot of ways that I thought that this whole thing was kind of old and kind of crusty. Yeah, you know, I don't, like, so many people are so lost today, and trust me, people were more lost before. We have this feeling because we have so much stuff in our lives and we don't have to work hard to survive. So many people have this feeling that we are lost today, and we're really not. It's just because we need to do more. And a lot of what is to do more is not what's been done. It's new stuff, right? So I found this kind of old and crusty, and the thing that I have to say here is, maybe I said this before in one of my other blogs, but I don't have a problem with Jesus. I have a problem with his followers. I don't have a problem with the Buddha. In fact, there's Buddhas all over my house. There's a big head of Buddha that's somewhere in my house. Well, actually, Jason has it right now, but it'll be back in my house. I love the Buddha. Whenever I see images of the Buddha, it makes me feel good. So I think maybe sometimes Buddhist followers are almost, for me, and again, this is my experience, so I don't want to be like sounding like I'm disrespectful or whatever. About stuff, it just didn't work for me. And so I was actually at Eye of the Cat, which is up on Broadway. It's back up that way a couple of blocks. And I was talking to Jade there. She kind of works there all the time. Eye of the Cat, by the way, it's on 3rd and Redondo. Old school, kind of very witchy, high magic. Not necessarily high magic, but very witchy, sort of earth magic, natural magic. And you can see the storefront on my Instagram if you go there. And by the way, I'm kind of live rock star everywhere. On Instagram, on Facebook, on Tumblr. My Tumblr I gotta revise. It's still there though. Let's see, where was I? Yeah, so I was talking to Jade, and I was saying it's kind of, she didn't know the name, but when I started describing it, she goes, "Oh, I know about that." And I said, "Hey, it's this kind of this spiritual hipster thing." And I started describing it and everything, and she talked about the same thing of wanting to be in the structure of this monastic 10 days of silence, of sort of getting away from the modern world. And I think that what I learned is that I would like to actually, when I get really old, because I'm going to live for a long time and I'm probably not going to want to make music, and I'm probably going to have a lot of money eventually. I won't talk about why, but I will. I want to start a program like this, of like where people could go to, that's not so old school, that's so ancient, that's so crusty, that's so fucking tired as this is. It's like that S.N. Goenka, the guy that teaches it. It all needs to be updated. The followers should get a clue. And Jesus did say so. I'm not like trying to like say that the systems are the same, but a lot of the religions have similarities. And Jesus said, I think it was right before he was getting ready to ascend to heaven, he said to Peter, "You are Peter, and on this rock you shall build my church." And I'm kind of paraphrasing it because I don't remember it exactly, but what you change on earth should be changed in heaven, and what you held down on earth will be held down in heaven. Meaning that it's not cast in stone, that spirituality and all of this stuff is it's liquid. It's like everything about us is liquid. We want everything to be fixed in stone, and it's just not going to happen. So I need to reset here. I'm going to switch topics for a little while. I'm going to talk more about Vipassana. So Long Beach is one of my favorite places because there's Port of Long Beach way out there. I don't know, can you still see all the big container lifters out there and stuff? I love the world that I live in. I started praying and giving thanks for my food every single day. And I love where I live. I love how I live. And I love everything about it. And what I love here, in this place particular, that I live in a total natural setting, and if I wanted, other than the roads that I drive on, I could disappear into total naturalness. But what I love here is this is like everything about the world. See, there's all those big ships out there, and they're coming into the port of Los Angeles. Yeah, I guess that's the port of Los Angeles or Long Beach. And then we have the ocean here, which is like one of the most natural things ever. Like, we could wipe out everything. We're not going to wipe out everything, so don't worry about that. I'm just like doing a what if, okay? But the ocean will always be here. It's like, it is the most natural thing. A couple years ago, I was thinking about renting a room to like be able to come here. So with the Vipassana thing, so the one thing I did want to talk about is kind of like the Buddhist thing of where it just doesn't work for me. Like, I don't know, I don't remember how much of this I talked about. I listened to a lot of my videos to make sure that I was happy with them. And even though I uploaded them, if I would have found too big of a flaw in one of them, I would have deleted it. But, as I was meditating, and this is what I got out of it, is I realized I don't do enough quiet work in my head, that our minds are really, like, that's what I really got. Like, damn, dude, you need to meditate like a lot more. I started hallucinating like crazy, and I think I talked about this too, and the instructor sort of said, that I wasn't doing the practice, and I was like, no, I am mindful of my breath, and my mind can split in half that way. And so I can be just completely in the presence of my breath, and I can hallucinate. So then a couple of days later, I started having these very structured visions of like, which I came to like realize that it was my past lives. And that was pretty cool. Because when I was younger, because I grew up in a very, very normal family. I'm adopted into my family. my parents didn't know what to make of it, but I was sort of, now in hindsight I realize I wasn't plagued by nightmares, but there was just visions that I was having all the time when I was asleep, and there was sort of spirits outside my door all the time. And when I say outside my door, my bedroom was the corner bedroom in the house that I grew up in, and so right outside was like kind of nowhere, and I always thought that there was people outside, and there was, and my parents, well, it just got knocked out of me, okay? So I've always had an amazing intuition. Like when I worked in my career, being a high-profile construction superintendent in the grading business of California, I always knew what was going to happen. I was able to like just come in contact with people and, and realize if they were going to help me or not. And I never reacted to it, but like usually if somebody was like going to be an amazing help or a hand, is what we call them, a hand. That guy's a good hand. I would know if they were going to be a good or a bad hand, like right away. And I never reacted to it. But as I got to the position that I am now, I did look back and realize that like, wow, I've always had this amazing intuition. So the Vipassana and the structure of doing a lot of meditation made me see what was possible. It's kind of too much. Like, I don't know what other people who actually went there, because after 5 days, I've done a bit of meditation, but I was just so saturated in it that it was just like, oh God, I got to get away from it. But my practice has been really, really strong. So, felt like there was another thing I wanted to say about like why I eventually left there. Well, yeah, it's the feelings, it's the feelings that we have as human beings, because Buddhists always want to just be steady. They want to be liberated. Like the mind is bad, and I get that people get lost in their mind and they get addicted to like sensations and stuff like that. And love and joy and anger, especially the bad emotions, anger and despair and fear and overthinking maybe, and a lot of that kind of stuff that I think the Buddhists just, they just want you to, like I said, they're spiritually opiated. But we're emotional beings. Yeah, we are. We're emotional beings. And so to just become these spiritual heroin kind of, spiritually opiated kind of people that like are just switching off our emotions, it's no good. Those things are all like inclinations to us, or lighthouses that are calling out to us of like things that we love. One thing that I said to my friend Lysandra was, because they're so opiated, I said there's probably no magicians, magic people in Buddhism, and there's probably no great artists in there. They just all paint pictures of landscapes and Buddhas and do their little calligraphy and everything. And that for me, there's nothing about any of that works with what my program is. No, like, wow, it seems like I've been talking for a long time, and sometimes I talk and it just goes by, and I've still got a minute to go before I hit 15 minutes. So I'm just saying, our emotions, you got to think that like probably two Buddhists like getting together, and like the love and the passion has got to be like really, really, like two hardcore Buddhists has got to be like really boring. Like I get crazy, like that's kind of why I'm having a relationship with myself, is because I get crazy in love. And for me being where I am now, I want to be crazy in love with myself. And so the whole going to Vipassana, and this is a wrap up of the Vipassana. The next one I do is going to be about comparing Vipassana to some modern programs. So for me, why I went to Vipassana and why I am the spiritual thrill seeker, the spiritual gangster, the spiritual like adrenaline junkie, yeah, is because I want to just feel all of life, and I want to be completely into life, and just like be like, I live in the mountains, and And a lot of people just live up there and they drive on the roads and stuff and they don't even realize how beautiful it is. And I just get so exhilarated, which is why I wanted to walk out here and do this blog, because that fucking sunset is yummy. I know there's probably lots of wind noises, but okay, hey, so that's the end of it. Support me by supporting my music, which is Second Culture. I've really gotten a whole lot of like new inspirations. This has been such a great year. I don't know if I want to call this year the best and worst year. It's been a crazy year, but I love what I'm looking at, the horizon. Looking at, feeling like what lies ahead of me is as beautiful and as awesome as that sunset. Links in the drop down for my music. A lot of people have been visiting my website. I've been getting lots of orders lately, and it's like really cool, and I'm glad. All right, it's Keith. I'll talk to you later.